Okay, in this video, I wanted to remind you how to do a pixel and also show you maybe a better way to set your pixel up and to also go over some examples of the types of problems we're doing. Okay, first of all, when you open up the pixel, you're going to see probably the graphs first. Okay, but if you notice down on the bottom left-hand corner, you have two different tabs. Okay, so that first tab is for the graphs, so you can click on it. And right next to where it says graphs, you can click on the other tab, and that's going to give you a place to write your answers. Okay, so graphs on one, the answers on the other. And you could do this on different tabs. I mean, like on your Chromebook, but I'm going to recommend you open this lesson up twice and do two half screens. Okay, you don't have to. But if you do two half screens and put the graphs on one side and then open it up again and do the slope intercept form answers on the other side and zoom down to 33%, I really think it'll be easier because you can see both at the same time. You can see the problem and the answers. Okay, but again, I know you guys sometimes like to do it differently than the way I would, but just a recommendation. Okay, so you're finding the equations of the graphs on the left. Let's do three of these together because I know that these were giving you guys a little bit of trouble earlier. Okay, we can do this. Ask me if you have questions, but we'll do three together. Let's do 2, 5, and 10. Okay, let's look at problem 2. Okay, notice the graph, and we're going to come up with an equation. I like to think of it this way. Y equals something x plus something. Okay, that first something is the slope. That second something is the y-intercept. Okay, the slope first. Okay, find 2 points on your graph, and these are indicated on this assignment. Travel from the point on the left to the point on the right, and it's like you're drawing a triangle, trying to get from one point to the other. Okay, so I'm going to go down one space, over one space to get from my left point to the right point. Okay, so my slope, which is rise over run, okay, I went down one, right one. So my rise of down one, that's a negative one because up's positive, down's negative. And right one in the run as a right one would be a positive one. Okay, because right's positive, left is negative. Okay, so my slope would be negative 1 divided by 1, and that's negative 1. So negative 1's my slope. My y-intercept just means where does my line cross my y-axis? Okay, here's my y-axis. The line, my purple line, is crossing the y-axis right here. Okay, there's my purple line. It's crossing the y-axis right there at 0. So my equation is y equals negative 1x plus 0. Okay, guys, that's the right answer, but it won't work for the pixel because it has to be as simple as you can. Okay, think about this. Plus 0. Okay, adding 0 to something doesn't change it. So let's leave that off. Okay, so we have y equals negative 1x. Okay, another shortcut is if you have 1 in front of an x, just leave it out because 1x and x mean the same thing. So I'm going to leave that 1 off. So my equation is y equals negative x. Okay, y equals negative x. So when I go to type that in, okay, this is problem 2. I'm just going to type y equals negative x. Click enter. And I'm going to get, if I did it correctly, see, I'm going to get some of my picture to pop up. Okay, let's do number 5. Okay, so we're doing y equals slope x plus y-intercept. Okay, the slope is going from one point to another point. And I like to go from the one on the left to the one on the right. And just think about how much are you going up or down and how much are you going over to get from one point to the other. Okay, I'm going down 2 spaces, right 1 space. So my rise means up or down. My run means right or left. So my rise is down 2. Okay, down is a negative direction. So my rise is negative 2. My run is over to the right 1. So positive 1 for my run. Just simplify negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. Okay, the y-axis, the y-intercept just means where does my line cross over this y-axis? Okay, my purple line is crossing over the y-axis right there at negative 7. Negative 7. So my equation is y equals negative 2x plus negative 7. That's actually mathematically correct. But just like when we worked with expressions earlier in the year, if we had plus a negative, I said try to just think of it as a subtracted number. Instead of an adding a negative, think of it as just being subtracted. So y equals negative 2x minus 7 would be a little bit better way to think of this equation. Okay, so y equals negative 2x minus 7. Let's see, that was problem 5. So I'm going to click, type in y equals negative 2x minus 7. Click enter. And see, we have more of the picture. Okay, I only get a certain amount of time for YouTube videos, so I'm going to just go ahead and tell you that problem 10 is the answer to it is y equals negative 4. As a 7th grader, you don't have to worry about horizontal lines yet. So number 10 is y equals negative 4. Type that in, click enter. Okay, so you're getting more and more of the picture. And actually, the puzzle that I originally had for you, I already wrote down what the answer to number 14 is, because that's the type of line you don't also have to worry about as a 7th grader. Okay, but it was there, and I couldn't make it work without just leaving the answer there. So 14, type in x equals negative 4, and push enter. Okay, so every time you get an answer correct, part of the picture pops up. Okay, just remember y equals slope x plus y-intercept, and try to figure out both from the graph, plug the numbers in, simplify the answer. And I know quite a few of you are having trouble with this. Please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll have an extra Zoom lesson. Okay, I want to help you out. Just keep me posted.